Let's get it. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, the brief pullback we had, and why it appears that that happened. We will also be taking a look at the current Bitcoin price and where I see it going in the near future. Then the majority of the video is going to be focused on how I look for lower cap altcoin gems and how I look for new projects to potentially put my money into. Let's go. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Crypto Cabin. My name is Tom, and in today's video, like I said, we are going to be talking about Bitcoin price, why I think it started to correct back a little bit here, but I do think overall we are still in extremely good shape, very bullish outlook for Bitcoin still here. And then we are going to transition into altcoins, talking about how I do some research and look for certain coins that could potentially be the next 10x, 100x, 1000x gem. You never ever know. So let's start with Bitcoin. Why did we see this correction? Bitcoin and Ether lead the market lower in a washout of leverage. This has been the theme this bull cycle. People trading with too much leverage. As soon as one person gets liquidated, maybe it's a huge liquidation, and then it kind of cascades down, liquidating more and more positions. So I know I first started trading at the beginning of this year using way too high of leverage, and when I was rather inexperienced, I still am not the most experienced trader by any means, but I would be using 10 to 20, 25, maybe even 30x leverage, and that is extremely high, and your margins for error are so small, and you can get liquidated extremely quickly. So it seems like a lot of these corrections are in part caused by a ton of liquidations happening. So this cascade happens at high levels of leverage. Like I mentioned, the amount of leverage and the open interest in crypto derivatives markets has been climbing to levels not seen since September 7th mini crash. So we had that correction back in September. So the correction that they're talking about here is this candle here on September 7th, this wick that took us from almost 53,000 all the way down to just under 43,000. So a $10,000 move in a day. It also is part of what has happened in the past year on these huge spikes down. Not saying that's the whole story, but it's definitely a part of it. So when you are trading on leverage, I would just say play with a small percentage of your account and be smart. Obviously, I am in one here. I am just playing around with very small values for now, and I have tried to reduce my leverage to a point where my liquidation price is lower than where I could see the price going from a technical analysis standpoint. So I mentioned in my Telegram group that we were potentially forming a head and shoulders pattern here. It looks like that has been negated. So we should be back on the upswing here. If we look at the daily chart, we want to see more closes, more daily closes above this 60K mark, just to solidify that as a very strong level of support. We did have one daily close below it there, but we are now moving our way back up, and hopefully we can close this day out strong. And then in regards to the weekly, again, we have not had a weekly close above this level up here now. So this is 62,000. As long as we're still closing above 60,000, I think we're in good shape. We do need to spend some more time in this zone to form a really strong level of support. But ideally, we would see a weekly close this next week above 61.7, closer to 62,000. And then continue on up from there. I know the month end is coming up very soon, and I believe Plan B said that the monthly close would be around 63,000, give or take a couple. So he's very close right now if we stay here, but if we can bump up a little bit, he'll be even more accurate, obviously. Next, let's talk about altcoins and how I do some of my research on them. So there's two kind of methods that I've been doing. I've been honestly going to something like CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, and sometimes if I've got extra time, I will literally just start typing in kind of random combinations of letters and then doing a little bit of reading on it. I'll do maybe I go RM, and then it's like, okay, I'm looking for lower cap gems, right? So I want to see what number it's at here. So this is a very, very low one. Maybe I go in there and I start to research a little bit about this project. So I could see, holy smokes, super, super low market cap. So obviously it's got potential to go up from there, but it could also go to zero and not be worth anything. I look at, the circulating supply and total supply. I also want to see the price history. So this coin was around back in May of 2019. You can see it's gone through some big spikes up and down, but other than that, it's been fairly dead for the last little bit. This is how I find some of them is, okay, we are 95% down from the all-time high. This is maybe a good example. I'm not saying to go jump in on this one in particular right away, but this is how I found things like Berry data. I posted that I hopped in on this one on my TikTok last week, I think. And so for me, this is one where I liked the lower capped supply. It's capped at 12.5 million and very low market cap. Fully diluted market cap isn't crazy high either. Sometimes you'll see fully diluted means the price multiplied by the total supply. And so if all coins were in circulation, that is the market cap that it would have. So these are both still under 10 million. And then what I was looking at in particular with Berry is, so it had a really big spike up at the top. Usually this happens when new coins get launched. So this one launched back in February of 2021. They launch, they go through a big spike, and then they come down. And yes, potentially this coin, it could be dead. But when you go into their Telegram group, look at their Twitter, and look at a bunch of other of their socials, they are still actively doing things. So they're not like, they haven't vanished, right? You also see a negative 98% since the all-time high. So the chances of this going a ton lower are not very high, right? So to me, this is why I hopped in on this one. I see some major upside potential with minimal downside risk from here. Obviously, it could go to zero, and I did not put very much money into it. I didn't put in any more than I am willing to lose. I think it was like $300 to $400 or something like that. So if I lose it, it's not a big deal. But if this coin is able to 10, 100, potentially 1,000x from here, then that would obviously be a pretty good return on the money that I put in. So like I said, Berry is one. You can see that their Telegram is still very active. They host AMAs quite often. They've got 73,000 members in their Telegram group. Hop in the Telegram, hop in the Discord if they have one, and follow them on Twitter or whichever. This is not necessarily just for this coin, but follow any project that you're looking at. I know that the numbers can be faked for their followers and stuff, but just see how active they are and see what they post, see how the conversation is in the Telegram group. First and foremost, I should have said this before, is what problem does it solve? So this is an Oracle project on the Binance Smart Chain network. And we all know that like Chainlink is one of the biggest oracles that probably works with almost everybody at this point. But if Berry Data or a lot of these other smaller oracles can take a small percentage of Chainlink's market cap, they still have a big ways to go. This strategy is also what I use to get into something like DFIT. So again, it is from the all-time highs down 95%, and over the past year, you can look at the chart there again. Could be dead project, but this one solves a bit more of a unique use case. It is the first digital currency to work with digital fitness, really. I like to also check out their YouTube, see if they've got any videos on there, see what they're doing. Not a ton of subscribers, but it is, again, one of those coins with a capped supply of 50 million. And so it was also trading at a very high discount as compared to where its all-time high was. So again, had a launched back in April. We've seen a big correction down. I think I originally bought kind of down here on this first dip. So that was not a great entry, obviously. Put in a little bit of money there, and then as it came down, especially in this range, I started accumulating more in this range. But again, haven't put in any more than I'm comfortable losing. But that is just one of the strategies that I do. Is I look for coins, maybe search randomly, or maybe you hear about it from somewhere, come to CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. I look at the price action, see, holy smokes, it's down a ton. Then research the project a little bit further. Like I said, go to their website, go look at their white paper, go see all of their socials, hop in their Telegram, hop in their Discord, check out their Twitter, see how active they are, see how people are talking within that group. If it's filled with just like a bunch of people saying pump it, pump it, pump it, pump it, then it might be one of those types of coins where you could get dumped on pretty quick. I mean, all coins are like that. But if they're actually talking about the project itself and how excited they are to see where it's going to go and what it can do for the world, the unique problem it solves, like I said, then you can definitely take a look at it further, or that, in my opinion, it's worth taking a further look at for sure. And then seeing the price down from the all-time highs by a lot, it kind of minimizes my risk, is my mindset behind it. Nord is another one that I did this for. So it's down not as much anymore from its all-time high. It's at 82%, but back here it was down around $1. Same sort of thing. Launch, big pump, and then it comes back down. So this happens a lot with new projects. If you can't get into the IDO or the ICO, then what you would likely want to do if you still like that project is wait. So it's going to pump. If you can't get in early, wait until it kind of settles back down, and then enter in from there. So that is just my 2 cents on those. So that's the one strategy. I might just randomly search. That's the start of it. And then from there, go into looking at all of their platforms and everything like that, getting involved, hopping in the groups, waiting, staying patient before fully committing to buying the project. Another way is by hopping into these Telegram groups. Sometimes they do live video calls or AMAs, like I said, and occasionally, honestly, they will mention their partners or who they are working with or other projects, and that is what I take and go and research as well. So one that I just heard of by hopping into a certain group is called XP.network, or the XP network. So once you hear of something that you're maybe interested in, or you hear of a project in general, search them on CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap. I go to their website and then start looking at, first of all, the problem they solve. So is this a unique problem that has not been solved yet in the world of blockchain? And if it has, what kind of competitors do they have? How big are their competitors? And are they slightly different, or what's more unique about them than the competitors that they have in this space? Then also, like I said, hop into all of their social networks and see how the developers or the owners of the project interact with their community, and just get a good sense and a good feel for that community as a whole. So this one, like I said, got mentioned in one of those Telegram live chats that I was just listening in on. And it is going to try to tear down the walls between blockchains for NFTs. So it's going to be a chain agnostic bridge built for NFTs, where you can just transfer NFTs from one blockchain to another through their bridge, is the idea. And I know that's been something that's been tricky. If you're on Ethereum, you need to buy on Ethereum, and then if you wanted to transfer somewhere else, it's probably really hard right now with NFTs. So I have not invested in this one yet at all. It has just kind of came up and it struck my interest. So like I said, from here, okay, yes, it solves a fairly unique problem. Let's go and check out the white paper. Awesome. Okay, you can read through this whole thing if you wanted to as well, get more details on it and see what they're doing. Then I want to see, okay, let's go see what the community is like. So you'd go check out their Twitter, go check out their Discord, maybe their Reddit group as well. Facebook and Instagram, most of the stuff is probably posted elsewhere. So check out their Twitter. How active are they on Twitter? Lots of followers. And then 7 hours ago, 8 hours ago, 21 hours ago. So they're fairly active on Twitter with a decent following, so that's good. Then if we go check out their YouTube, I started watching this AMA and they've got two guys on here. So they've got the CEO and the CTO. So they're putting their faces out there, which is great. You can get to know them maybe a little bit better and understand this project through those types of AMA sessions. And then, like I said, they've got all these different Telegram channels. Hop on in there and I would see what's going on, how they interact with their community, like I said, in those groups. If it's fairly respectful and friendly and they've been treating their community well, then it's a project that more than likely is going to stick around a longer time, because the community, or as they say, then your network is your net worth. And I fully believe that as well. So check that out. And then if you can't find, like I couldn't find anything in regards to the tokenomics or anything like that in the white paper. They did talk about it, but they didn't say how many there were or what the supply was. So if we go over to find them on CoinGecko, they're already listed on CoinGecko, which is good, even though I think it says it's not launching until October 31st, but you could copy this address, and I think there is liquidity on PancakeSwap. I just took a look. I haven't bought any yet, but I think you can get some. So from there, I copy that address, and then I'm going to go to the BSC scanner, type in that address, or copy and paste that address in there, and then click on view the token tracker. So we can see here that they have 1 billion total supply of XPnet. Not sure how many are in circulation right now. Almost 5,000 holders and fully diluted market cap of 76 million. So that means at the current price, it might be closer to 78 million then. At the current price, if all the circulating supply was out there, it would have a market cap of 78 million. So not huge. That's still quite small in regards to cryptocurrencies. I think right now basically all the cryptocurrencies in the top 100 have a $1 billion market cap. So for this project to 10x in price from here is not unrealistic. Because it does, like I said, it's solving a unique problem. It is allowing NFTs to be transferred across blockchains. They do have a team that is out there in the open. They've got a decent following on their social networks. Like I said, I would want to hop into their Telegram groups a little bit more and see how it goes. But this is one, again, that I kind of just found by hopping into a group, listening. And then another way, like I've said, to find ones is to start searching. Like it takes time. It's not going to happen to you automatically. You've got to put in the effort and be constantly searching. Maybe if you spend half an hour a day researching new things, or an hour a day maybe typing stuff in and looking for projects that you really, really want to invest in, or projects that you can see potential in. Like I said, look for a very unique use case. I would say use case is one of the biggest things. The community and the developers themselves is huge. So look at the developers or the owners of the project and see what kind of experience they have as well, and then how they communicate with their community. Like I said, the community itself is huge. Look at all their socials. Watch as many videos as you can on it. If they've got YouTube videos, check that out. And then, like I said, I'm always thinking about risk to reward. So very small market cap coins, I'm not putting in a ton of money because I don't feel like losing thousands or tens of thousands of dollars. I'm putting in smaller amounts, and then if they do 10, 100, or even potentially 1,000x, then hey, that is awesome. So there you have it, team. There are a couple of altcoin gems, or potential altcoin gems, that I have found and gotten into from various methods. One here that I have not invested in yet that I think does have potential to be quite big, just because of the unique problem it solves and all the other things that I talked about before in this video. So check it out. If you would like to do more research on it, always do your own research. You are responsible for your own financial decisions and the choices that you make with your money. If you got some value out of this video and you haven't done so already, scroll on down, give this video a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and then click the notification bell and select all so you get notified for when I post new videos. And that is all for today, team. Thank you so much for sticking around all the way to the end, and I will see you next time on the next episode from the Crypto Cabin.